If you want to know the best and latest farming methods in 1.11, you are in the right place. Another week, another patch, so I tested more than 35 of the major farming methods in the game to give you the working ones currently, so I can save you the guesswork and a lot of time to let you focus on the things that matter and will give you progress in the fastest time possible. As always, I want to start the test with a little side note for consoles, as console players have a chance to revive some of the dead, unlimited spots on this list. And it is possible by setting the graphics mode to performance mode. But I am also receiving conflicting reports that some Xbox and PS5 players can't revive the dead spots even after playing in performance mode. So there's no guarantee that the said method will work. So the safest route in here if you are a console player is to just give it a try and see if it will work on your end. Starting from now, I will be skipping my weekly unlimited treasure chest testing since the majority of PC players don't have access to it anyway, and it is highly unstable on consoles as well. So I can also add more depth to the existing farms currently in the upcoming test. But let me know your thoughts in the comments if you want to see the chest farms in the upcoming weeks. But if you want to try it for yourself and see if the unlimited chest farms are working, I've already covered multiple tests that have the spots, and the videos are linked in the description. The Witchwood region in the southwestern section of Hernand has a spot where you can farm respawning abyss creatures. The method requires the player to focus on the smaller version of the said creature, and by the time you want them to respawn, you will allow yourself to be swallowed by the big ones and revive at a checkpoint. But in the 1.11 version of the game, even if you let yourself be eaten alive by the big ones, the small ones doesn't come back, at least on the PC side of things. The turquoise rock pool area near the town of Varnia offers the same abyss cells farming spots involving the same creatures. Keep in mind that these two spots are not the only ones, and I have tested the other methods like the one in the Steel Mountains and confirmed that it is still not working on PC. While console players on the other hand will still have a chance to get an unlimited supply of abyss cell, which I will be diving into later on. If you are gonna ask me if this is a big loss for PC players, of course the answer is no. The Greymane farm is more than enough to give you a steady supply of abyss cells all throughout the game. That is if you want to engage in the farming feature of the game. The Brimstone spot on the other hand in Deadfire Mountain is still very much alive and offers unlimited amount of brimstone crabs in 1.11. The Abyss Cree set located in the center of the spot will allow you to respawn the said crabs and farm an unlimited amount of brimstone for your platinum crafting needs. What I usually do here is stand in the center and take out all of the bismuth crabs in the area with my unlimited explosive arrows. Make sure to have a flying pet with you to streamline the process. And of course, I've still tested the best mercury farming spots across the map for the sake of data. 2 locations for this material are still available in 1.11, and the mercury pond located in Silver Wolf Mountain near the Deadfire Mountains is the first one. Speed glide to where the marker is heading, and the mercury pond will be right below you in a moment. Farm mercuries by freezing the pond with your ice arrows like usual. The second spot is located in Smoking Lance Heart, located in the Deadfire region. No changes were made during the cooldown period for the mercury, as player needs to wait 3 in-game days to replenish these ponds. The Rubber Unlimited farm is still acting dead, at least on the PC side of things, in 1.11. The location on the screen right now, or the Stone Crab Wetlands, is the starting point for the rubber farming, since there's a rubber tree situated near the location. The rubber tree in question oozes with white liquid, and you only need a magic site to farm the substance directly. Then you can fast travel back to the nearest Abyss Nexus and come back for more. But in the latest version of the game, all of my playthroughs were consistent in not being able to replicate the method. In my opinion, it is not really a big loss, since your Greymane farm is also more than enough solution for your rubber needs. But if you want quick rubber, brimstone and mercury, the multi-farm in Skolastone is pretty much alive in the latest version of the game. Skolastone can be found in the southwestern section of Hernand, as you can see. And this is a method where you can use common animal hides or even crimson glass containers to increase the trust meter of the trolls in Skolastone, so they can give you either brimstone, rubber, or mercury in the process, even faded abyss artifacts. But keep in mind that you will be maxing all of the trust of trolls in Stone, and eventually, you will be resorting to the best brimstones and other material farms that I just mentioned. That is so cool, Samurai! But what is the fastest way to farm animal hides since it is one of the most boring things to do in the game? No worries about that, my dear viewer, and the location in Hernan on the screen right now is a spot where you can farm animals easily. There are a lot of animals that can spawn near the Nexus in this location. Animals ranging from deer, calves, and more, giving you the chance to get easy animal hides, horns, and even more. Reset this spot in a flash by standing on the Nexus and fast traveling on it. After so many changes in this guide, I decided to include the objectively best general ore farming spot in the game. This spot will allow you to farm almost every ore in the game, which can easily solve your ore problems. And yes, I'm talking about the Stormcrab Wetlands, again located in the far western section of Demenes. What I usually do here is go around the spot and make sure that all nodes will be farmed, and wait at least 7 days for all of the ore deposits to respawn and farm again. This spot offers azurites, garnets, scolicites, copper ores, epidotes, and iron ores, which are the key ore that you need mostly for your upgrades. The unlimited bismuth ore farming in Drake's Fall Castle remains unstable. This specific spot offers multiple packs of small bismuth crabs that can be a potential unlimited source of abyss cells and bismuth. The method here is not completely killing every pack of crabs in the area and leaving at least 2 to 3 packs. Fast traveling back to the Nexus will allow you to respawn all of the crabs you just killed. In multiple test runs across multiple saves, I can no longer replicate this method, at least when playing on PC. I showed you the details for the method since I am receiving reports that console players can still take advantage of this farm if their graphics mode was set to performance mode. But even if this farm becomes permanently dead on PC, it's not really a big loss, because just imagine how much bismuth ore you can farm just around Stone. Not only that, if you farm all of the crabs at Drake's Fall Castle, you will be getting a lot of bismuth anyways that will last you multiple upgrades, and get abyss cells in the process. Just imagine, you only need 1 abyss cell seed to jumpstart your Greymane farm. How much more if you gather 5 seeds and plant them all at once? You'll be gathering more seeds in return. The infinite iron ore farming method on Sage Peak can still be a potential good source of iron ore and abyss cells as well. This method will allow the player to farm stone crabs that drop a lot of iron ore and abyss cells as mentioned, and also abyss gear. The trick here was to concentrate on the small to medium stone crabs and letting the moss covered stone crabs alone, so the other stone crabs will respawn. But in the last 3 to 4 patches, even if you killed only 1 stone crab in the area, the crab will never respawn, at least on the PC side of things. But let's say you cannot take advantage of this farm on both PC and consoles. In my honest opinion, iron ores are so common that you can get 6 iron ores per node if you have a good mining drill. Just look how many nodes you can farm around Greymane Camp in Hernan. And if that is not enough, here are all of the iron nodes around Hernan, and you can get 6 iron ore per node. So just imagine how much you can earn in just few sessions. You will need a lot of copper pouches if you want to easily increase the trust meter of the key merchants in the game. And the Demenes Wildlife Park is the best and fastest source of copper pouches, while also giving you the chance to get gold bars as a bonus. Find the Demenes Wildlife Park south of the main town, and the Abyss Nexus on the screen right now is the main reset point for this method. From the Abyss Nexus, gain height and try landing on the wooden scaffolding holding the main gate of the park. Then use your unlimited explosive arrows and shoot the borders of the first major area to scare off the nobles. Pay attention to the spots where I am shooting my arrows. Whatever happens, don't hit the nobles, and your main goal in here is to scare them all off, so they will run towards the main gate of the park. All sides must be covered, especially the side where the wooden bridge is located, since there are a lot of nobles in it. If you did this correctly, the majority of the nobles will be funneled at the gate, so you can take them out all at once with your normal attacks or any kind of means. Once you've cleared all of them, loot all of the bodies and farm tons of copper pouches and possible gold bars in the process. The best money farming methods in 1.11 are next, and the gold bar stealing methods in Demenes Wildlife Park is of course pretty much working. If you want the quickest way to gain gold bars, this is the way to go. That is if you are not willing to do any side activities like farming golden apples, for example. This method will allow you to steal gold bars from the nobles inside the park, which a lot of you already mastered by now. Start from the Abyss Nexus and gain height, and land on the other side of the gate. Hop on your horse and start scanning all of the nobles around you while on horseback. Then follow the farming route being shown on the screen right now. Once the path ends, fast travel back to the Abyss Nexus from where we started to repeat the method. In just one instance, I managed to score 2 gold bars consecutively, proving the farm is still alive and working. The Palmer Leaf money farming methods is still alive and kicking, allowing the players to gain tons of silver in just few runs. By just gathering every Palmer Leaf spots across the map, you will be getting 8,000 silver in every 7 days. 3 of the best spots currently in the latest version of the game, and holding the 3rd place is the Southern Elder Tree spot, located in the southern section of Demenes. There are a total of 3 flower spots in this area, and they can give you 789 Palmer leaves, which is a lot. This can be sold later on like candies for 1200 silver. The Serpent Marsh spot is the 2nd best spot currently, located southeast of Demenes. You do have 5 flower spots to take advantage of in this area, where you can gather 953 Palmer leaves, which is almost worth 1,450 silver. The Red Tree Forest spot is hands down the best spot to farm Palmer leaves, located in the far east of Demenes or in the northern section of Delesia. This area offers a whopping 7 flower spots and almost 1,500 Palmer leaves to farm, which can be sold for a whopping 2,300 silver. There are a total of 10 Palmer leaf spots across the map that I know of, so if you are interested in that, check the full video in the description or find it by clicking the card here. Our beloved Golden Apple farming is very much working and still holds the title of the 2nd best money farming in the game. If you don't want to deal with dispatch missions, which I will talk about in a second, then the Golden Apple farming is the best in the entire game when it comes to money farming. The Golden Apple Hedgehog will allow players to farm golden apples and then use the golden apples to craft the gold bars like candies. 2 main spots remains unbeatable even in 1.11. The first one is the Eastern Hill spot located in Delesia, and the area below the water tank in the bent position is where the Golden Apple Hedgehog spawn. I am also highlighting my farming route in the area for a much clearer visual of the farm. I will show you how godly this spot is even in 1.11. Pay attention to my run in here where I scored 2 consecutive golden apples in just a single run. For those players who say that I am just manipulating the results, just look at the time difference for each golden apple drop and you will have your answer. The Tarib spot for golden apples is working perfectly even after the patch. This spot can be found in the Gardens of Tarif, where I am hovering in this recording. What I usually do here is form a circular motion in the garden when hunting the Golden Apple Hedgehog. Another godly spot where I get a whopping 3 consecutive golden apples right off the bat in just a single session. Just look how crazy that is. But the best overall money farm in 1.11 is still by far the time skip gold bar dispatch, combined with the banking investment saves coming, allowing you to earn 20k silver in just minutes plus easy gold bars like candies. Hold this thought for now as I will explain how it works later on this guide. And if you are getting value so far, subscribe to the channel. Liking the video and engaging in the comments helps me more than you can imagine. Or consider supporting us on Patreon or by becoming a channel member today. And I appreciate your support. And before I show my test results when it comes to Abyss Artifacts farming, all of the test results were made from a low-level character here that gathered 5 to 10 Abyss Artifacts so far in the game. The build is of course equipped with a 100% skill XP bonus for the highest artifact gains per hour. The Frost element is already unlocked and powered up by the Shattering Frost Abyss gear. The Serpent Shrine Gunners remain one of the best earliest manual XP farming spots in 1.11, allowing you to gain tons of Abyss artifacts while also giving you a chance to stockpile pan-fried vegetables, a high level of food that gives you tons of HP and SP with every use. Find this amazing spot located in the southwestern section of Delesia near the Dewhaven region. From a low-level character standpoint, you can expect a whopping 23 to 25 Abyss artifacts per hour. Starting from now, I will show you how crazy the XP rate is in a certain spot so you will see that I am not hallucinating. The Dewhaven Keep farming spot is one of the best working mid to late game XP farming spot in 1.11. As the name implies, find this spot in the area of Dewhaven in the region of Delecia. Basically, this spot will allow the player to take a specific farming route to farm a lot of night enemies inside the keep. But the greatest thing in here is that if you follow the specific route that I am suggesting here, the elite team of Delecia is waiting for you at the entrance of the castle by the time you complete the said route. This is a big deal since the Delecian elite team's captain is at least one Ice Walker per kill. And just look, the 110% of XP was given after the kill. If you are paying attention so far, that's already 2 Abyss artifacts in just one run. Once the captain is dead, reset the farm, just fast travel back to the key Abyss Nexus of this method. The mid to end game City of Tomaso farming spots works perfectly in 1.11, and in fact, it is way better since patch 1.9 hit. Take note of the Abyss Nexus on the screen right now since it is your starting point for this spot. This spot offers high level enemies, and I cannot stress how much XP a low level character can get from this spot. So pay attention to my XP bar and see for yourself. From the Abyss Nexus, glide your way down to the nearest fighting ring and make sure that you are wearing your bandit mask. Attack any soldier or NPC in the ring and position yourself in the middle of the ring to funnel all of the high level soldiers in the area. Your Frost Mantle attacks, powered up by the Frost Shattering Abyss gear, can one-shot these guys. And once they are all dead, there's also another fighting ring on the other side of the town. Follow the farming route shown in here, and basically, you can just go back and forth between the fighting rings to respawn all of the high-level soldiers. Just like in the previous method, the region of Tashgal will send their best men to hunt you, and the captain of the said team is worth a whopping Ice Walker level of XP, which is on top of your high XP level gains from the soldiers in the area. And just look how much XP each captain provides, and that's one whole XP bar from a low level character standpoint. And if you are paying attention, I already got a whopping 3 Abyss artifacts in just one cycle, not counting the Abyss artifacts gains from the captains. What crazy about this spot is that players will be getting Abyss artifacts as drops from these soldiers. I started noticing this when patch 1.9.0 was implemented. The Flame Knight Castle is hands down the best mid-game XP reblockaded spot in 1.11. This spot continues to be a stable way of getting Abyss artifacts, and not only that, a possible source of Abyss gear as well, which I will be diving into later on. Find this spot in the region of Demenes, located near the huge letter D of the Demenes landmark. A low-level character can expect a whopping 23 to 28 Abyss artifacts per hour. And the XP rate on the screen right now explains everything. Just look how insane the XP rate is, given the fact that you can farm a lot of soldiers in this spot, not to mention how easily players can reset the method. But when it comes to the best overall manual farming method in the game, nothing really can beat the Disruptor farming method. An endgame method that can give you the chance to get 30 to 33 Abyss artifacts per hourly run. This spot will allow the user to wipe out mech soldiers in the area. And these humanoid mech soldiers are weaker compared to the usual mechs around Delecia, giving the player the chance to wipe these soldiers in 2 to 3 EMP strikes. You can access Marnie's outpost in the northeastern section of Delecia in the region of Gortak. Make sure to activate the key Abyss Nexus for the spot for resetting purposes later on. Keep in mind as well that this spot is accessible in Chapter 10. From the Abyss Nexus, propel yourself and make sure to land on the same spot, which is the rusted mechanism, but here I landed on the platform itself. Immediately cast 2 to 4 EMP strikes to clear the initial targets around the outpost. Jump and gain height and propel yourself once again and drop near the entrance of the outpost on your left hand side. Once you lose enemy aggro, fast travel back to our key Abyss Nexus to reset the run, rinse and repeat. There's a lot of preparation to make this spot work, so if you are interested in learning more spots and methods surrounding the Disruptor, the full guide is linked in the description or find the video by clicking the card here. Other best reblockaded spots or the earlier ones are working as intended, and Fort Hellwood is one of them. Find this location in the southwestern section of Hernan. From the Abyss Nexus, what I usually do here is gain height and head to the inner section of the fort, wipe out all of the normal goblins while ignoring the boss, and fast travel back to the Nexus to repeat the run. Another great early reblockaded spot is Fort Warspike, located still in the southwestern region of Hernan, a spot that offers unlimited blade bandits for you to take advantage of. And of course, the famous Ice Walker farms that gives you tons of XP in the past remains dead as of the moment for both PS5 and PC users. So don't waste your time checking them out. Of course, I need to check them weekly just in case Pearl Abyss forgets to patch the code for this farm. The Time When Ruins and Bordic Ruins dispatch plus the time skip method is hands down the best artifact and money farming method in 1.11. What I usually do here is send my dispatch on Time When Ruins and Bordic Ruins as well, which will reward me with abyss artifacts and gold bars. Then head to any time skip quest location, which is in this case is the Circus in Demenes. This will allow me to skip the time to 9:30 PM, and then there's a bet in the chance that you can sleep for 12 hours. Waking up at 9 AM as you can see, so I can use the circus time once again and the cycle continues. You will be getting a lot of abyss artifacts in this way, and as previously mentioned, you can farm gold bars simultaneously with this if you send a dispatch to Bordic Ruins. A huge plus in here is you can earn as much as 20k silver from the banking investment alone, if you maintain at least 40k silver in your bank. This does not count the gold bars that you can earn from the Bordic Ruins dispatch. I will be covering this method extensively very soon, so stay tuned for that. It's just that I have so many guides going around at the moment. The Beggars in Hernand is your earliest method if you are into stealing abyss artifacts. This method covers the Beggar's End and the Scrap Hold located on the outskirts of the main town. The actual method is pretty simple. Gain height and speed glide to reach the key area near the jail area of the town. As soon as you land, call your horse and start scanning all of the beggars in our first key location. Keep in mind that you need to do this on horseback so the beggars can clink on you. Follow the farming route shown in here and it will lead you to the second key farming area. In this specific run, I was able to get one abyss artifact before the route ends. This is an actual proof that the beggars can still be a viable source of abyss artifacts. The Scholars in Scholastone Institute remains a strong source of abyss artifacts even after multiple patches. A lot of people keep saying that this method is already patched or even say that you can only get one abyss artifact per day. These are simply not accurate statements. What I usually do is start from the Abyss Nexus, ride my horse, and start scanning Scholars in the area while following the specific farming route shown in here. And there we go, already an abyss artifact for this run. A prepared 100% double stealing build will almost guarantee to get an abyss artifacts most of the time per steal. Then I will continue the farming route that will cover the main bridge, the main classroom on the left wing, the grand mess hall, and the storage area. At the end of the farming route, I will then fast travel back to repeat the method once again. Another proof that I can show you is my recent 3 godly drops made in a single run. Just look at the timestamps as proof, solidifying that this method is 100% alive and working. And before we head to the final major farm, here's an overview of the current dead and working spots in 1.11. Chest farms are dead, at least on PC, but there's a chance that they are working on consoles. The same thing applies to high-grade material farms for Brimstone and Mercury, which are working along with the dead rubber farming spot. While on the other hand, all money farming methods are working without issues, along with the best manual XP Abyss artifacts farming spots. Stealing is still a viable approach, and time skip methods still remain the best methods across the board. There are really no big changes when it comes to Abyss gear farming in the latest version of the game, but I am happy to say that all of the best spots are still holding up even in 1.11. The 3 usual spots are the Frosthold Entrance, Frosthold Pass, and the best of them all, of course, is the Ice Watch Altar. Farming in one of these locations will allow the player to disarm the maces and shields of the Skull Knight followers. The Frostbone Shield and Frozen Soul Mace contain Tier 1 Malice Bane and Fortitude that you can later use to get higher tier Abyss gears. And for the love of the game, make sure to follow these disarming instructions carefully before commenting that the method is not working. You need a small shield for this to work, since any large shield won't work. Again, any large shield won't work. You can disarm enemies by pressing and holding the L1 button and then pressing the R2 button or the right trigger after the enemy successfully lands an attack on your shield. I specifically mentioned the word after, since if you disarm too early, Cliff will perform a regular shield bash, like what you are seeing in here. But when the enemy attack landed on your shield and you press the R2 button late or perhaps perform the disarm late, he will do the vaulting grab action instead. The Frosthold Pass is the weakest spot so far, giving you the chance to engage and disarm 5 key enemies in here. So that's 5 maces and 5 shields, which can be converted to 10 tier 1 abyss gears later on. So in an hour of consistent farming, you are expecting 321 tier 1 abyss gears per hour. Frosthold Entrance, on the other hand, allows you to farm 6 key enemies that give 6 maces and shields per attempt, and that's 360 abyss gears per hour. There is no question that the Ice Watch Altar is indeed the best overall spot among the 3, giving you 15 key enemies to engage. So that's a whopping 15 maces and 15 shields that can give you 450 abyss gears per hour. Here are a couple of tips to make your runs better. To reset all of the shields and maces in the area, hop on your horse and leave the area until the enemy aggro drops. Then return again and notice that all of the shields and maces already respawned. One thing to note when trying to farm the Skull Knight followers, you can be at peace with killing the rangers and the Frostbeater users and they will never respawn. In patch 1.7, enemies learn how to pick up their melee weapons after every disarm. So make sure to cast Unleash in every successful disarm so you and your flying pet can easily get the shields and maces. Piling up the said shields and maces will allow you to extract tier 1 Manus Banes and Fortitudes as mentioned. Then save scamming the results of your synthesis all the way to tier 3 Abyss Gears. I am showing an actual visual representation of the process for better understanding. And if this is overwhelming for you, I suggest checking my step-by-step guide covering this topic. Link in the description or find the video by clicking the card here. But what if you cleared the Frosthold spots? They don't reblockade in the same way, at least in all of my testing, so the Flame Knight Castle is a potential alternative. However, keep your expectations low, since the Abyss Gear farming in this area is simply not optimized. If you look closely, there are only a handful of soldiers in this spot who holds the Blazing Shields, and this is the Blazing Shields that will give you the key Abyss Gears. The main issue that I have here is that disarming all of the soldiers with the Blazing Shields takes a lot of time because the spot is surrounded by other normal soldiers. Even if you manage to disarm the key soldiers with the Blazing Shields, which is based on an RNG, it will also take you time tracking the lost shields even with your pet, since the pet can get normal weapons and shields. So it is not really an optimized farm and use this method only as a backup spot. More spots will be covered soon. But what if you want to know the best mid-game upgrades that will make you cooler and overpowered? This video will teach you everything you need to know, so click on it and I will catch you on the next one.